Hey y'all, how's it going? I just wanted to do a general video about a lot of different things that have been going on with the truck. Firstly, you saw my ignition switch video the other day, and I'll show you right quick what it was doing, and it still does it. Okay, so what you're seeing is the gauges just reset themselves sometimes, and what's really weird is I figured out that if you disconnect the Edge CTS here, that mostly cuts it out. With that thing plugged in, there was times where it was resetting itself every, 2 minutes. You unplug that thing and now it does it once every hour or so of driving, which I can live with that. But I figured, replace the ignition switch in here because maybe the truck thinks it's being, that I'm trying to turn it off, but, and the switch was, faulty, but that wasn't the case. So it's real weird. I mean, that's why I also did that cluster reset. So what's really weird is it happens when this thing is plugged in, very consistent. If I plug that thing in, it'll start doing it. So that's a mystery. Next thing, the exhaust. And here's what we look like now. I did get a replacement clamp, but it didn't fit very well. So I figured out a way to get the old clamp to work again. And I have that foil there. It's really weird. These last two pieces of exhaust pipe do not fit together very well at all. I don't know, what the designers were really thinking. And I've never taken the clamp off to see just how poorly they line up. But that foil there really has helped it out. Now the exhaust pipe is solid right there. It doesn't have any, it's not jerry-rigged at all anymore. But I would like to find a long-term replacement for the exhaust. For fun, I actually took this from the clamp back off. It's like a 5-foot section, actually. And drove around, and it sounded terrible. Lots of drone. It just sounded all metallic, like you could hear the noise bouncing off of all the components under here, off the bed of the truck. It was obnoxious. And finally, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the video with this big scrape on the front of my truck. That happened last year. Someone out in the parking lot where I live hit me overnight one night, and I never figured out who that was. But even worse was what happened a couple of nights ago, and I will now show you a picture of that. Yes, here on the driver's side, I have attempted to fix that. Unfortunately, this kind of looks a little bit amateur, but I'll show you a few highlights right after this of me doing this. Anyways, I did pull out the dent with a plunger, and it pulled right on out. It's almost not noticeable. You can kind of see it a little bit right there. That's kind of still looks like a little bit of a ding, but it's not too bad at all. This does need to be cleaned up. The edges need to be cleaned up, smoothed out, wet sanded, and polished. This may end up looking pretty decent by the time I get done with all that, but for now, it's just, I'm just going to leave it sit like this for a while until I figure out what I'm going to do. Long-term solution for this is get the whole thing repainted. There's so many dings and dents. You can see one like that. I'll take you on a little tour here. Stuff like that where there's even a little bit of rust there. That's dented in. I'm not sure what that was from. Lots of rock chips and things. See along the door, all chipped up. Lots of chips right there. Those are all from rocks, stuff like that. I mean, my window's got 3 snowflakes on it. The hood's got some dents and dings in it all along the front here, where the front of the hood is. I'm not sure how that gets chipped up. And I'm just going to paint inside the lines there. Alright, status update. We've got 2 hours so far, over 2 hours now, since the last coat of primer was added. It's been over an hour since I sanded it, and I just wiped everything down with a wet rag and then dried it off with a dry rag. And it's a pretty smooth surface. You can still see where the scratches were, but it's significantly smoother. I'm not really going for smoothness as much as I am just to get it, the paint back to the normal color. But yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it, and the sand paper, did make a little bit of a difference here. So we're just gonna have to continue to wait before we can start to paint then. Okay, here we are. We are 3 coats in on the base layer. The first coat was just a thin coat, and then the second 2 were more moderately thick. We're gonna add 1 more coat, and then in the middle here you can kind of see an imperfection where I had to sand it out there. That's gonna require probably just an extra coat to cover that up, just in that very little spot there. And then we'll let this dry for a half hour and then get the clear coat on after that. Anyways, my final solution for that is I'd like to get a bed liner, a white bed liner paint job on the truck eventually, but not until after I have another truck, so that, I need this truck every day. So, yeah, as far as dings and dents go, it would be good to have that bed liner paint job, because, I don't abuse the truck, but I use it, and just a regular paint job, it's going to get dinged up very quickly. So, that's it for this video. Some weird things going on. I don't know what hit me back there. I think I got hit at the harbor while I was parked, and everyone's got a trailer there, so I think I got a trailer backed into me. I'm really surprised it didn't take my fender flare off or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't had that good luck lately. Dropped my phone a couple hours ago, cracked the screen. It don't look too bad though. I'm filming with it right now, and I can see the screen pretty well. Anyways, y'all, have a good one. As a side note, this is on sale at my local Walmart for $2 a gallon off. So I got 3 gallons. I've literally got probably I got a 9-gallon stockpile now, so we're going to be good for a while.